What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are on the Eahora electric bike. This is the Ultra 2, 5,000 watts, 80 amp hour battery down here, baby, full charge. We got our Insta 360 X5 up front. That was the best spot that I could figure out. There's actually really no mounting spots for a 360 camera on this bike. And I am on the wrong road. Everyone does 55, 60 on this road, so we're gonna be a little careful by going fast. I absolutely love this bike. This bike is my favorite bike over the Aoki A9 Pro Max. Sad to say, the Pro Max is still a great bike at the end of the day, but I mean, this just fits me better. It's more comfortable. I gotta say, the Aoki, I think, had a better seat though. The seat on this one isn't the best, but the suspension in the rear, you can adjust it. What the heck? We lost all power. We lost all power. I just said how much I like this bike, and it just gave up on me. What happened? Oh man, we're gonna have to pull into the neighborhood. What the heck? We just started today's video. I haven't even went that far. All right, it's in 2, 5. When I put it to 5, it's like there's a limiter on it now. It's only going 20 miles an hour. Did the cops zap my damn bike and slow me down? What the hell? Oh shit, my bad. I forgot you were waiting for me. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God, what the heck? I feel like the Too Fast, Too Furious. Is that what it was on when the cops get behind them and they shoot a thing at their bike and it slows it down? Takes all the computer system, like, it fries it basically. I honestly don't know what happened. We barely started this ride. It's not hot. That's really weird to me. Let's go into, I don't know. Let's see. Hold on. No, it picks up speed perfectly fine. Come on, Aoki. Did I hit a button anywhere? What the heck? I don't know what the heck happened. Huh. Interesting. It just, for some reason, now has a cap. So what I'm going to try to do is, let's go into the settings by chance. But you saw how fast this bike was going. Why am I having issues? Hold up, hold up. All right, so display settings. We want to go to advanced settings. And 62 miles an hour is our top speed. If you go one more above 62 mile per hour, it goes down to 1 mile per hour. And our current limit on the controllers is 31 is the max and go down to 7. And everything seems good. Let me turn off cruise control because I'm not a huge fan of that, to be straight up honest. Our start stop is really fast as well. I have that set, I think, at like 4 or 5. So it has the fastest like torque getting off the line. But let's see. Uh-oh. Wait, hold on. I'm in 5 now. Oh, crap. Come on. Come on now. Come on, don't let me stranded. Now, I'm not super far from my house, but that is definitely a little concerning. So I'm going to do right now is I'm going to turn the bike off with the button that's on the battery right down here. So it should shut off. Yeah, now it says it gave an error code because it lost power. All right, so let's turn the bike back on. And let's see what happens. Now I'm a little worried about taking it super far. Let's try out the pedals really quick, I guess. See if the pedals activate. No. Oh, wait. Well, hold on. I think they were going for a little bit. Hold on. Oh, no, they're not. They're definitely not. Oh. We got a little bit of power out of it. What happened? This bike was performing so well. Oh, man. Oh, now it's moving. But the front is showing no power. Hold on. Let me pull over really quick. Hold on. All right, so that looks fine. Making sure the motor connections, that's like the first thing I like to do is make sure that, these are still good. These just spin, so that looks good. The front looks good as well. So we got the front on here. It didn't look like it got snatched by the brake or nothing like that, so that's good. And This is just chilling. So I'm wondering if it's a controller issue. Man, this is one of my favorite bikes too to take around because it has the range. And we were going to go pretty far today, and now it just seems like it's just a dud. So now I'm curious to see how hard this is going to be to like pedal and get it places, because unless, hold on, let's make sure that our throttle cable isn't snagged on anything. That's another thing to check, is to make sure it didn't come like unplugged, because a throttle cable can definitely ruin your day. Let's see. No, nothing. Nope. Even playing with the wires, nothing's happening. Man, we are screwed. We have to backtrack. Oh, this is not fun. Oh, Eahora, what happened? Oh man, I said some really good things about this bike. Oh, and then you do this to me. What the heck? Well, I guess this is a good time to see how customer service is, because that's a huge thing that I've heard about Aoki and Eahora. I don't know if they have the same customer service. I'm not 100% sure. And by the way, I'm going to get on another street, but I just don't want to get hit. I'm on the wrong side of the road. Well, I'm going downhill. This helps so much. Oh, this helps so much. So if you guys are not from this area, we were over at Riverstone. And let's go across. Oh, I got a little bit of power right there. Hold on. Oh, and then it went away. Oh, man. Oh, man. Let me go up a gear. I gotta say, this is actually not a bad bike to pedal. Now, compared to the Aoki, it has a huge chain ring, so it's good for pedaling at like high speeds. However, this thing is more better for pedaling down low, because that's where you're probably gonna be pedaling most of the time if you're not using a lot of battery. But if you're going like 50 miles an hour, then of course. But man, whew, it's still a workout at the end of the day. I mean, you're pedaling a 200-pound bike, but it definitely doesn't feel as heavy as the Aoki. It definitely feels more nimble, especially when pedaling and all that kind of stuff. Like, it just feels like it turns easier. It's still a heavy bike at the end of the day, though. And man, I'm gonna be burnt out by the time I get home. I think what I'm going to try to do, and a lot of people should do this if you have issues with these bikes, and I'm not trying to justify the company, because at the end of the day, if this happened to me, I bought this bike, I'd be kind of pissed, you know? And it all comes down to the customer service on how they treat you. So I'm going to look at it myself. This is what I always suggest people to do. Check your wires first. Check your throttle. Make sure there's no like, you know, binds or like the cables, you know, messed up or something like that. And then the next thing I would do, look at the motor connections. If the motor connections are all good, then I would look at the controller. Woo! Man, I mean, I guess this is a good workout. And we're coming up a hill right up here. But look at the controller to see if the controllers came disconnected, because that's a huge thing. It's actually already happened to me multiple times. So I've had it happen on 2 or 3 e-bike reviews, and it wasn't fun. Oh man, I gotta get out of here. I can only go 9 miles an hour. I'm getting gear 1. I was in gear 2, but now that we're coming up, I'm gonna get over here. Oh no, here comes the hill. Come on, bike. Come on, bike. Yeah, it's definitely a connection issue. And if I would have brought the keys, I would have tried to like refit the battery in there just to make sure the connection's not bad. But I can't. Whew. All right, let me make it up this hill real quick and get back to you guys while I catch my breath.
12 seconds later.
All right, hold on. I wiggle these cables back here because the controllers look like they sit right here. And the rear started working, so hold on. There we go. Oh, man. That gave me hope for a second with this hill. That was interesting. Let me see if I wiggle these cables again. I'm trying to get my hand back there. Oh man, definitely feels like a wire issue now that I played around with those wires. So obviously you can see the wattage on this display, and move these around a little bit and watch. Look, whoa. Now it's taking off without me on it. It can't be a heat issue. It's not a hot day. We literally went like, well, a mile before this happened, and now we're at like 2 miles. Oh man. Once I get to this part right here, we'll start hauling ass downhill, I think, for a little bit. All right, so going back to what I was saying, because I got a little sidetracked, is that what I'm gonna do is after I check everything out, oh, what the heck? Oh man, what the heck, why did it just work right there? Huh. Interesting. Anyways, like I was saying, what I'm gonna do is check all the regular connections first and see what's going on with those connections. Now, if I notice something loose, great, that's probably gonna fix the issue. If I don't, that's when I will contact customer service and, you know, ask them, hey, like I had this issue on my bike, what could it be? I'm gonna go on a limb, it's probably the controllers. It sounds like it's the controllers. I don't think it's the motors. Can't be the motors. The motors are like literally brand new, but controllers do have issues here and there. And man, quality control department, man, that kind of sucks. This should have happened on like my video review or something like that, you know? Not when I'm out here having fun and about to sell the bike to somebody. I literally just listed this bike for sale so I can recoup some of the money for all this house stuff I've been buying. And now it's not looking good. Oh, I'm in gear 1, guys, gear 1. And I'm pedaling my ass off. And I can only go 9 miles an hour. And now the hill, holy crap. This bike gets so heavy. Oh man, I'll see you guys at the house. All right, so we are back in my garage. I have taken the seat off so far of the bike, and that gets us access to the controllers. And I guess while we're in here, it is 3M taped, or some type of sticky tape is on here, which is nice to know that they are kind of secure. The other one I don't think I can get to unless I take off this bracket, and there's like 2 bolts, so there's one right here, one right here. I should probably take that off because that'll give me better access to the controllers. But what I'm noticing, well, let's just check out the amperage real quick. So this is upside down, but it looks like it is 41 amps max, and the rated current is 20, and low voltage is 44 volts. Anyways, I don't think I need to access this, so you actually don't need to take the seat off on this bike. I think what we need to check is we need to take all these zip ties off right here and see how the cables look underneath. And to see if any of the cables came disconnected for whatever reason, that's gonna be our main culprit to see if it's a controller issue, connection issue, something like that. Well, that's good to know. After taking that off, it looks like they have electrical tape on both of these controller connections. It looks like, without taking it off, they're XT90s, or yeah, they're XT90s is what they look like. They're pretty thick. And it's nice that they tape them up like that. And then they also have zip ties underneath. So now what I'm thinking is these cables run down. These all look connected, so I'm not going to take all this off. I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna check in here and see if there's a loose connection somewhere in this area, because that's where the cables look like they run through, but they also come up this way. So I'm gonna take these bolts off and let's see what it's looking like in there and see if we can find anything loose. So after taking all the bolts off to this center section right here, normally this would be like a torque sensor or where you would actually have your controllers on most bikes. I noticed after taking this apart, there's nothing inside, and also you cannot remove this cover without removing the crank arm. So what I did is I bent it as much as possible down, because you can kind of slide it, and all these cables do is run from here into here, and then they go up here. So there's actually no connection whatsoever in here, but it doesn't look like anything's been grinded on nothing, so it doesn't look like nothing got cut, because that would also be an issue. This is the motor cable right here. That goes to the back. That's still connected, really nice and good. Doesn't look like this got caught by anything, because sometimes you got to be careful with the brake rotors, because you can't even get your finger in there, and that's normally a culprit if these zip ties, you know, get cut or something or loose, and then it gets pushed to the side, and then your motor cable is completely gone, if that makes sense. Also on the other side of here too. It looks really tight around this bend, but it's definitely away from all the bolts. Another thing too is if your bolts come loose on your rotor, they could poke your motor cables and rip it, and that would not be fun. You would have to get a new motor or get it rewired or something. But the good thing is you could release it from here and just replace this back section, but it still sucks at the end of the day, right? So anyways, we are going to see, if I take this off, I'm gonna see how this is looking inside here. And I'm just gonna put these bolts back because I don't really need to access anymore, just so I keep everything nice and tidy. But anyways, yeah, let's start on this section now. Now that we got that panel off, you can see that it does tell us our battery information, but you can see that if you take the battery out, and you can see it, there's really nothing there. This is just to hold the wires in place so they're not all messy or they're on the outside of the bike, which I think is a nice clean setup, so kudos for them for doing that. I just figured maybe there's a connection in there, maybe something got pinched against, you know, like a sharp edge like that, but everything is looking good in here. Now it does look like it was getting pinched a little bit right there, but Doesn't look too bad if you guys can see it from the side, but I'm not seeing any craziness. Now the next thing I'm gonna do is unplug these and plug them back in just to make sure it's not a throttle issue. I don't think it is because it was showing that the motor in the back was working and the front one wasn't. So either one of the motors went out, and if one of the motors go out, maybe it doesn't like work for both. I'm not exactly sure. That seems kind of weird and odd, but just kind of a thought I had in my head. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna disconnect all these cables and plug them back in. Then we're gonna see if this bike works or not, because after that, we pretty much went over everything. All right, moment of truth. Let's see if this thing still pops on. Everything was disconnected and checked, and it's on the rear motor, which I love that the headlight comes on. The Anioki doesn't do that, but I shouldn't be saying some good things about this bike because it's broken right now. 0, that makes sense. Let's go up a little bit. Nothing. Nothing whatsoever. Huh. Let's go to 5. Still nothing. Nothing's happening. The brake light's functioning. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, what's going on? Oh, I see that the chain, this is rubbing. Okay, so that needs to definitely be moved away from the motor. So that's because we're in gear number 1. We did that so we can pedal. I don't normally have it in gear number 1, but it looks like this got bent during shipment, something I didn't even notice. So that's been grinding on the motor, but now it's working all of a sudden. Oh, now it's not. It gave me all power just now. Oh, now it's barely moving. Huh, isn't that interesting, guys? That is full. That is full twist throttle. And that is in 5. And it is still, it's barely moving. This isn't holding it up either. I'll tell you guys that right now. You might think that that's stopping it, but it's not. Well, anyway, let me try to bend that out of the way and then we'll test it out again. Okay, so I want you guys to see this in real time. There is definitely some type of issue. Now I'm thinking it's maybe a bad controller because, I mean, it's weird. It works and then stops working. Watch. Like right now, it's not working. You hit the brakes. Oh, now it's working. Okay, because there is a park feature, I believe, on this bike, but I mean, that's full throttle, but we're losing speed. It hit 42 miles an hour on the display, and now it's not working. Let me stop it. Now this is the power output it's giving us. This is gonna be fun to explain to the company. That is very odd behavior. And I'm curious to see if the front works. And let's try that out real quick. Let's see if the front works, but I'm gonna switch over to the front to be on the safe side only. Let's see if I can lift up the front at all, because this is a very long bike. Oh man, I don't think I'm gonna be able to lift at the front so we can test it out. No, let's see, hold on. Oh yeah, okay. All right, well, I wasn't trying to do a burnout, but I mean, the front seems like it's working now, so I don't know what the issue is. All right, so I put the seat back on real quick. It's not bolted because I feel like we're still not done with this bike. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to see how it performs on just the front motor now. Now the front motor is giving us all power, it looked like. It pulled off pretty quick. And it died. All right, both motors, front motor gave out, but the rear one came in clutch. That's so weird. It seems like it works and doesn't work. So I guess on the next video, we're gonna see how the customer service is for Eahora and see if we have to replace the controllers, or they say it's the battery or the motors. I'm assuming it's the controller issue, but I guess stay tuned and we'll have another video to this. Unfortunately, I couldn't solve it on today's video. I appreciate you guys for watching and staying tuned, and you guys are the true MVPs if you stuck around for this video of all the issues on the Eahora, which I thought we were gonna have a fun time with, and we didn't.